side has come and gone. Just give me a chance, we can carry on. I've made my choice, these drums of your voice, they run through my head as I remember the day. Stay in this moment. Fill the frame. They say we're lost without aim. Today the stars will be red. Soon blue will guide us instead.
There.
Hello everyone, hello everyone, hello everyone. I hope everybody's having a good night. I'm having some screen issues here. Just give me one moment and I will correct this for y'all. Okay, that should be better. Okay, so sorry about that. But welcome to the Alliance live show number 84. We're ready to kind of get rolling here. Got a lot to talk about. We're going to take a look at Palpatine's shuttle, the Emperor's shuttle, in a few minutes. We're going to discuss the rework to B-2. We're going to discuss the B-1, and we're going to just get into some good old banter. Kind of do the Q&A at the end, and our top 5 as usual. So, as usual, I'm joined by my co-host and colleague and good friend, good old Maurice. How you doing, my friend?
What's going on, guys?
And we're also joined by Avinash, as usual, as well. How you doing, Avi?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Excellent. So, I hope everybody's having a good weekend. I personally have been having a really busy weekend. I've been setting up a new room for my son, so we had to re-sheetrock, insulate, paint, spackle, carpet, and then I set up a new bed for him. So it's been like just a busy weekend for me, besides trying to get in some work. And I also did the live show yesterday with Ranger on the Reality Skewed Gamers channel. We did the Jedi Academy, and obviously wanted to make sure that we got our streaming tonight. So we're gonna move along here. I want to talk a little bit about the B-1 droid. Obviously we don't have him yet. The event is coming in 3 days. As you can see the character here on screen, it looks like he's gonna have some pretty good synergy with the droids and separatists. What are your first impressions here, Maurice? What do you think about this guy?
Well, very zombie-like kind of, on the initial reading. Could be a pretty big pain. A lot of target lock mechanics are really starting to enter the game now, so those old 88 Zetas and the IPD Zetas are looking a little more useful now. Two additional characters with him, and now B2 that can do target lock. So this is it's interesting to see. The droids are always be split in like 2 factions now, right? You're gonna have the separatist ones, and you're gonna have like the leftovers with HK. It's gonna be cool. This is a cool character.
Yeah, I like him, and I think he's gonna be pretty interesting. So his Basic attack will be deal physical damage to target enemy. If the target was target locked, all droid allies recover 5% of their leader's max health and protection. Again, kind of synergizing with the droid faction here. Target lock, is there only one character right now in the droid faction that can target lock, right? That's IG-88?
88 and IPD, and T3 feeds off target lock. I'm not sure if he dishes it out himself, but it's not much of a strategy right now.
Well, B1 will also be able to do target lock here with a special attack. Blast them. He'll deal physical damage to all enemies, so it'll be an area of effect attack, and inflict target lock for 2 turns on the selected target. Gain 1 stack of droid battalion for each other separatist ally. Heal target other separatist ally for 0.5% health and 0.5% protection. Oh, that's okay. That's obviously at level 1. Well, it's still at 0.5% health and 0.5% protection at level 8 for each stack of droid battalion. So that seems like a really low amount of health, doesn't it? In protection?
Yeah, but those droid battalions, you can stack those up potentially into the triple digits.
Well, I mean, you know, if you're running in with a droid team, I mean, there's only one other. I mean, I'm thinking of B-2 Battle Droid as being the separatist in that team. Well, let's say General Grievous gets a rework, that'll be another separatist. So yeah, I mean, I guess I could see that. I just, you know, I'm just wondering how many separatists you're really going to have on that team. But that's interesting. Okay, then Roger, which is their common thing that they say from the movies. When another separatist ally uses an ability during their turn, B1 assists, dealing 40% less damage. Limit once per turn. When another droid ally uses a special ability, B1 gains 15% turn meter. Okay. That could be kind of interesting. You know, especially to start the match, you know, when all of the droids do their, like, area of effect attacks, B1's going to gain turn meter for each one of those, so that's pretty cool. And then the second unique is Droid Battalion, which is B1 can't score critical hits or be revived. B1 has no protection. 1 health and 20 stacks of Droid Battalion. And, oh, that's at level 1. Okay. B1 can't score critical hits or be revived. B1 has no protection, 1 health, and 100 stacks of Droid Battalion, and can't be defeated or destroyed while they have Droid Battalion. When all stacks of Droid Battalion expire, B1 immediately destroys itself. B1 is immune to damage over time. Yeah, so I can kind of see what you mean by the similarities to, like, let's say, you know, to, like, Zombie.
And really, I mean, just reading the kit, I mean, if it automatically reduces the health, you know, and no protection, I mean, is this really a character? I mean, why would you take him to gear? I don't know. I don't know if I would.
Yeah.
Gear him. Like, I don't understand. That element of it is interesting, because they discouraged us from doing that with Zombie, with Paper Zombie. Remember, just a few months ago, it changed her kit, and now they're just, I don't know.
Yeah,
it almost seems to me that when they get this going and running, and it's been tested a few times with the members, that they might readjust it. I mean, that's just my thoughts on that, because some of this, it when you read it, it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense until you're actually in there, actually playing it and watching and seeing how it works. It's a bit confusing.
Yeah, this one is a tough character, like theory craft on. You know, it's not the footage we've seen is very limited. You know, the stuff they provided for us,
right?
You know, it's hard to get a real taste of what it does.
So I'm assuming this will be the Zeta here, and that's when B1 takes damage. Also, that's the rest of Droid Battalion. They dispel all debuffs on themselves and lose 8 stacks of Droid Battalion. At the start of B1's turn, they gain 3 stacks of Droid Battalion. Each stack grants B1 +2 offense, and all Separatist allies plus 0.5% tenacity and critical avoidance. It's a pretty interesting character, but like you said, I mean, it's kind of a tough character to theory craft. I guess we're just going to have to, you know, get the character in our hands, and then we'll be able to, you know, get a better idea of how this character is going to work with other characters. I'm wondering if you're going to really have to surround B1 with all Separatist allies. You know, I don't know if he's going to work as well in a droid team now by just looking at that. I mean, again, you know, it's not saying that you won't have droids on the team, but what I'm saying, I don't know if he's going to be the best for let's say a team of 5 droids, because you may want to have some other separatists in there, and not all, you know, I don't know if there are 5 separatist droids right now. Well, there will be with Droidica, right? So
yeah, there'll be exactly 5. But that 2% offense per stack, that's pretty wicked. That's a lot of offense that could be generated if you keep him alive and keep his ticks on the up instead of just losing them. I mean, that you talk about an IG-88 that could just start swooping in for like 50, 60K basics, you know, when it really gets up there. Pretty, I'm looking forward to this character.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, you know, we'll have to see, but I'm looking forward to finding out. Now, I want to kind of take a look at B-2 and the changes that were made to him. Let's get over there. So B-2 received a Zeta. Now, what other changes did they make to B-2 that really are worth noting here?
Well, they gave him a whole other ability.
He
now has a chance to reduce his own cooldowns, which is pretty nasty. Just spamming AOE dispel every turn. That could be a lot of fun. Let's see, read exactly. I did take him up to gear 12 this week, but the Zeta, without the Zeta, yeah, you got it up on the screen there, yeah. But without the Zeta, you get a 40% chance to reduce the cooldowns by 1 whenever a Separatist ally is evaded or damaged by an attack. So that's pretty cool. So anytime, it's a lot of cooldown for. I mean, you use him for his move, right? His AOE dispel and buff block. If he can spam that every turn, it's going to be a nightmare.
So what's the team that they're going for here? Let's say like a General Grievous lead with B1, B2,
Droidica and IG-100.
Droidica and IG-100. That's going to be it.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the team's gonna be behind a bit of a paywall, but
yeah.
It sounds like it's fun. I really hope that they don't like really just make Grievous's rework only really help that team. I hope it really helps droids overall, but you know, I don't think they're going to give you an opportunity to kind of just stay away from this team and just run Grievous with another faction and wait till these characters are free. They're going to want to make it work where, you know, these characters are kind of needed to make Grievous go. So,
well, and that's in this one. Even B2's got the Separatist droid ally, very specific on who he boosts. You know, with that turn meter gain.
Right. Right. So you have to be a Separatist and a droid, right? So that's interesting. But overall, I mean, relatively similar. I mean, I was kind of afraid that they were going to negate some of the benefits of B2 with this rework. I was afraid that they were going to change this Relentless Barrage where he gets a chance to get 100% turn meter. So I'm glad they didn't do that, because that's what really makes him special, is his ability to really not need speed, because, you know, he gets 100% turn meter very often. So, you know, 40% chance is a pretty good chance. So
yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see what IG-100 and the rest of the droids look like. But if they're good, I'm pulling the trigger on that Zeta. I'm gonna be owning that B2 Zeta. Especially, I haven't got to test it obviously because I don't have it. But I'm assuming if he does his AOE buff immunity and lands buff block on all 5 characters, that's 25% turn rate he gives all the other droids.
Right.
I'm assuming that's how it would work. So that's pretty intense because everyone knows General Grievous is stupid slow. I mean, among everything else in this kit, that's one of the glaring issues, and that this will really speed up Grievous, speed up 100. I guess get that B1, that little B1 fella going. So it's a decent Zeta if the rest of the kits are good.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. All right, now, as the description of the video says, I'm going to go ahead and try to get my Palpatine ship here on the stream for you guys. So, right now I'm at 60 of 80, so I need 20 more shards to do this. and I think I'll be able to get it done. So we're gonna have to see. Hopefully RNG is on my side here. I'm gonna wail out a little bit on this just to get it done if necessary, but hopefully I can pull out 20 more shards here on the stream and get it unlocked so we can test it out a little bit. 4, that's not that good. 7, that's better. Okay, 2. So I need 7 more to get her going. So let's do another refresh. I'm probably gonna need to do 2 of these.
I mean, before you start firing off those 200 refreshes, you might want to consider buying that pack from the store. Then
Well,
there's like a 600 crystal pack in the store that gives you 640 ship energy. Better than 200, 400. You know.
Oh, there is a pack like that.
Mm-hmm. There's one ship energy pack you can buy.
Yeah, if you haven't bought it already, it should be in there.
Okay, that's actually a pretty good deal. Yeah, I'll do that.
I mean, if you're going to sit there and just spam it until you get it finished anyway, I mean, that's way cheaper.
I just got it, so I mean,
yeah.
I just unlocked it, but this seems like it's kind of worth it, so might as well just see how many more we can get.
It gave a pretty good start to get all those shards to get it, so that was nice.
Oh yeah, that pack does suck hose away, but when you're sitting here starting to refresh for 200, 400, 400, 800, 1600, it's quite the bargain.
Yeah.
DSP, just refresh 3 100s every day, and buy the pack. That should get you the 5-star.
So I'm at 100 of 80 now, so I'm going to be able to unlock it here. Let's do that. Let's get Palpatine's shuttle here. So rare to see a 4-star unlock in the game again.
Yeah.
Right. That's pretty cool. So yeah, if I keep farming it for the next couple days, I should be able to get it to 5 stars, which will be enough.
Yeah, you definitely want to go for the 5. But just, I mean, if they're going to do any sort of legendary event with these Sith ships, I mean, you probably want to get the 5-star or try to go for it. This isn't like a ship you can panic farm, so you know.
Yeah. They're making sure that you can't. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like get it while it's here, or don't get it at all. You know, so it's interesting route they're going here, but.
Well, I know that they're going to be putting it on different nodes. Do you think that they're going to have a little time in between those nodes, or do you think they're going to be switching nodes one after the other?
I don't know what they're going to be. I don't know how they're going to do this. Maybe take like a month off and slap it in Cantina, or you know, I don't know.
My horrible royal guard is finally starting to take his toll on me here.
Oh.
You know, I thought I could get away with not leveling up my royal guard for the rest of my life, but apparently he's crept back into my existence again.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's. Let me look. Pretty sure his stat, his little boost to the ship's pretty important. Let me look exactly what he does to the ship.
I have to get him to level 10 to do. I have him only at gear 9 right now. Taunt duration +1. Yeah, that's pretty huge.
Yeah.
But let's see here. All right, so reinforcement ability worth it for Palpatine shuttle?
I would hold off. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait. I want to. I got the itchy finger to do it, but I'm gonna wait. Darn, man! I want. Give me those things.
What those reinforcement ability?
Yes, yeah. Give me that. I want.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's an excessive amount. I thought I had some in the bank.
Oh, man.
Well, you're going to find out why in a second.
Oh, are we going to want to look at your other ships?
No, you don't want to look at the rest of my ships, but you're going to find out. You're going to look at my fleet arena and see where I'm at and understand why I haven't done a fleet match and probably, besides like, just popping in and popping out to get my dailies done.
Right.
I haven't done a fleet match in months. So I'm gonna just mess around.
Oh my goodness! Wow. Okay. Yep, I see it.
I mean, it's not like I've ignored ships. I've definitely been continuing to level up ships and work on ships. I just haven't.
Right.
I don't play Fleet Arena very much, so. And I'm not really sure what ships I should invest in. I've invested in Houndstooth, obviously, because that makes a ton of sense.
Right.
But I kind of need to... I have so much resources right now. I have so many, ability... Zetas. I have, reinforcement ability mats. I was kind of just waiting for, the meta to shift so I could jump on it and throw all my materials into the right team. So... I've been just kind of holding off.
It's such a shame that you couldn't give it to one of your favorite officers, share and share alike.
I wouldn't mind throwing you a couple of reinforcement ability minutes. So let me see here. Okay, so let's get rid of these ships. And I guess, should I use Houndstooth in this team with Palpatine?
Yes.
Wow, I haven't even tried Palp yet.
Yeah, I haven't either.
So try Palp.
Yeah, I would use Houndstooth in every team.
And then I guess I'll use TIE Advanced.
Yeah, safe to assume you don't have the Sith Bomber and Fighter.
No. I mean, I have them, but not.
You have a Zeta Maul?
Huh?
Do you have a Zeta Maul? You got a Maul, like a Zeta on your Maul?
I have a Zeta on my Maul, yep.
You could use his ship out of the reinforcement there.
Okay.
You're probably going to smoke these teams in the 500s here.
That's kind of why
I want to watch that.
That's kind of why I thought it would be fun, because I mean I haven't moved. Nobody can beat me. I've been at 500 for like 4 months. Nobody. I think people just avoid my team. You know what I'm saying? But all right. So I guess I'll throw in the TIE Fighter.
Just throw in your best Empire and Sith ships.
I'll throw in the first order TIE Fighter. No.
No, throw in your Imperial. Throw in. You got TIE Reaper. Maybe use TIE Reaper.
TIE Reaper, and
any ship that target locks? Boba Fett, maybe.
Go with Boba Fett, or should I go with the TIE Silencer?
I'll probably go with Boba just for
fun,
showing off target lock. Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's do this. Gonna try out Palp's ship here. I'm excited. Let's see what happens. Even though I'm probably gonna get destroyed. Palp's ship's just gonna get destroyed right off the bat.
Well, if you got that Sith fighter, that crappy ship everyone just immediately discounted, looking awfully good now. With all that evasion, because this team is slow. This Sith team is dog slow. And TIE Advanced is probably the fastest ship on it, and it's 8th to 10th fastest ship in the there's way faster ships than it. But it's gonna be interesting.
It does decent damage with its basic shot there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they're calling in a reinforcement. Okay, so let's call in the Scimitar, and then we'll put that on Houndstooth. Okay, and now I have the ability to use a special. So Royal Escort deals special damage to target enemy with 75% chance to inflict target lock on them for 2 turns. Then the healthiest other Empire or Sith ally taunts for 1 turn. Okay. Oh, that was kind of cool. No! Alright, let's buff the team here. People are totally laughing at my fleet.
No, no. Virgo just said take it against the meta and see how it does. I don't know if we're making it that high tonight.
This is the 500 meta. Okay, this is the meta for this is just an experiment, guys, to show you what it. I decided to take one for the team and just do an experiment to show you, what it's like when you're at rank 500 in Fleet Arena. Okay, let's see here. Take this out. Okay, now we'll work on that. Alright, so this is Emperor's Influence, which is dispel all debuffs from target Empire or Sith ally, then recover 50% of their max health and protection. Dispel all buffs from target enemy, and inflict buff immunity on all target locked enemies for 2 turns. This ability starts on cooldown and can't be evaded. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so we're going to take out this ship. I'm take him out with Palpatine's ship. Bang, 43k.
Just in terms of like the health and protection bar, it doesn't look terrible for a 4-star ship, It looks like you can take a shot or 2.
I just went up like 78 ranks.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah. So I'm sure I'm not going to face any Millennium Falcons here, but still, that was pretty cool. I mean, again, I think the ship definitely is interesting. Again, it's one of those things where it's just we're waiting and seeing like what else drops into the meta before. We can really put a grade on this ship, because I think that there's definitely something coming Sith-wise or Empire-wise. I mean, I hope it's Sith-wise because we have enough Empire, but there's definitely something coming because of the ship. They're not just giving us a ship that we can farm up to 5 stars and having this type of an event for no reason. I don't think that that's the case. I think that this ship is coming because of something else that's coming, so we'll have to see what that is. But looks pretty cool so far. My initial impressions are that it hits pretty hard, and looks like it synergizes pretty well with Sith or Empire. And
it's going to render Houndstooth junk, But I mean, it's going to counter Houndstooth for sure, which is attractive for Grand Arena TW. I just don't know if it's going to beat, if it's going to be superior or even competitive. Maybe I just don't have a lot of hands-on experience with these other Sith ships. But the components are there for a cool team. Just piecing it together, I guess, and figuring out which ships go who to reinforce, which capital ship to use, that sort of thing. If we get a new capital ship, I don't know, it's cool. It ties together a bunch of ships that you guys have, that you might not be using, but they're in your inventory. So that's cool.
So T thinks that Palp's ship is better out of reinforcements.
Yeah, because you can use his ability right away, because that ability starts on cooldown, and if you bring him in first, it'll be tough to do on defense, because chances are you're gonna have another ship that gets called in before Palpatine on your bench. So
I have enough of reinforcement ability mats to I think splurge a little bit. So
no, you can only go up to the you have to have a 5-star ship to max it out.
Splurge.
Yeah,
Go for it.
I'll do the first one, and then I can't do this one until the ship's 5 stars. So I'll just leave that for now.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool to use Emperor's Influence like right away. Yeah. Inflict tenacity down on target enemy for 2 turns, which can't be evaded or resisted. Okay, well, that's all right, but still pretty cool. I mean, we'll jump into another fleet battle here in a few minutes once the cooldown resets in 3 minutes. But in the meantime, I will do an event here. And then we'll do, after the next fleet battle, we'll do the meta report and the top 5. Let's, let me dive into this here. So this is this like an 8-tier event here, or is this like just,
No, it's just the one battle.
Just the one battle?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the one where you fight. Oh yeah. I mean, you got a pretty good team there. I don't think this should be much of an issue for you.
It should be nothing. Just stick it on auto and you can go for it.
Yeah. This is totally an autoable event. Yep, you pretty much one-rounded it here. Yep.
Now the next one, you're forced to use Palpatine and some other characters. So let's see what happens here. I'm probably going to go with, with Thrawn lead. We'll use Death Trooper. We'll use Krennic, and we'll use Shore Trooper. And then we'll go in with that and see what happens. I'm pretty sure we'll be in pretty good shape. Okay, let's get rid of Chewie because he's a nuisance.
Is that assisting Chewie though?
Huh?
I don't feel like that's the Chewie we have.
I don't think so. I think he's meant to fool us.
Well, I think this event came out before we had Chewbacca. Like, there's no guarded allies or anything. He might be like the tank Chewie or so. I don't know. He's just like hanging out, not assisting anybody.
Okay, let's stun people here. Now, area of effects. I'll wear down CLS here as much as possible. Okay, let's kick Han right in the face. Yep. Get rid of... Oh, really, Biggs? You gotta be kidding me. There we go. I'll take it. 5 speed. Always on a health. I mean, really? I mean, really? You know? Can't just be protection. 3 speed on this protection. That's at least I got speed on both mods. That's cool. Alright, let's go back into fleets. And we'll do that. We'll do one more fleet battle. Alright, let's see. Who should I go after here? Should I go after the Chimera team here on the right, the one in the middle, or should I go after the home one that doesn't have the Millennium Falcon? I don't think the home one is really an option. Now, let me refresh. Okay, so we got an endurance fleet here, we got a home one fleet, and we got a Chimera fleet.
I don't know. You could go against the 2017 meta there. I'm Byron Starkiller.
Okay.
Go for it. Go for it.
Let's go for it. So
you can do it.
I'm going to put Palpatine in as a reinforcement, and I'll go in here with the TIE fighter and Palpatine.
I'm excited. I should be able to get 5-star tonight on my big account. I'm at 58 of 65. I just checked. So I'm excited I can get it tonight at refresh.
So let's work on bigs.
I gotta step away for just a second. I'll be right back. I'll be back by the time this fleet battle's over.
Sure. Alright, let's call Palp in here. Really? He dodged that? Are you kidding me? Okay, Biggs is out of here. Okay, let's keep working on Boba. Alright, let me buff the team here. Let's dispel Boba. Okay, that didn't work. Okay, now he doesn't have that anymore. Let me go after TIE Fighter Pilot. Oh. Oh, we got Scimitar in there. No! Boba just did a number on my team. Okay, so let's get in there with the Scimitar ourselves. And we will put the stealth on everybody. And now we'll regreen taunt here. Oh, really? Vader shit. My houndstooth is down. No! This is not going well. The 2017 meta is destroying me.
Oh, yikes. It's okay.
Where's your dodge, TIE Fighter? Where's the dodge? He dodged everything on his team. I literally came in and they dodged my first Palpatine attack. You missed some good stuff. Guys, I wasn't trying there. That was just bad luck. I'm cursed by the gods. But no, that was not good. I feel like I want to do that again. Kind of see where if I could attack that a little differently and get the win out of there. So we'll go back into that battle again in a little bit after this the meta report and everything. I believe that we got, I don't know if it was a donation to me from Thane Cairo. Thank you very much, Thane, for the donation. And yes, the Eternal Twins. I know that's your thing. And listen, I want them just as bad as the next guy. Honestly, I think they're coming. I mean, I think that the writing is on the wall here for Capital Games that the KOTOR stuff and, you know, in turn, you know, there's the general Old Republic stuff is going to sell. So I think that we will eventually see the Eternal Twins. I think we'll see, you know, either Valkorian or the Emperor Vitiate at some point. I think we're going to get Malik. I think we're going to get some other KOTOR characters that we haven't gotten yet. So I think that it's not out of the realm of possibility that we may see some of these expanded universe characters. We may even get Starkiller at some point. I mean, that would be really awesome. And I don't know how that would work licensing-wise. That game may belong to a different company. I don't know if EA made... I don't think EA had anything to do with that. So their rights to Starkiller might not be available. But, I mean, if it's possible... Listen, the guy still works with Star Wars. He still does the voice. Well, he just recently did the voice on Rebels for Darth Maul. And I think he did the voice for Darth Maul in the movie, the Solo movie. So, we'll see. Because the guy who does the moves for Darth Maul... I believe his name is, I know this.
Steve.
Huh? No, Darth Maul.
From the first one, or are you talking about the guy who played in the first movie? The first one he was in?
The guy who plays him, Ray Park, sorry. Ray Park. Ray Park is the guy who dresses up as Darth Maul, but the voice of Darth Maul on the TV show and the voice of Darth Maul in Solo at the end of the movie is a guy named... it's a guy named... Hold on 1 second. Sam Witwer. So Sam Witwer is the face of the model for Starkiller from the Force Unleashed games. So if you ever played The Force Unleashed, the character Starkiller, they took the face of Sam Witwer, and he is Starkiller. So in the game, you play as Sam Witwer, or you play as Starkiller, or his name in the game. I forgot what his name was, but he's in a lot of things. Like he's in Lego Star Wars. He plays. Galen Marek is the name of Starkiller. Galen Marek could come into the game at some point. That would be awesome, in my opinion. I would hope. Now he's like super OP in that game. I don't know that they could ever put him in the game at that power level, but Galen Marek would be awesome. Sam Witwer is awesome. He does the voice for Maul, and he's very much involved still in Star Wars. So. I'm sure if they ever do something with Old Man Maul or anything like post Maul's having or death at or not really death, his when anything after Obi-Wan cut Darth Maul in half in the Phantom Menace for Maul will be voiced by Sam Witwer for sure. But let's move on to the meta report. So, Revan. What do you guys think?
Oh, Revan.
Just a little Revan.
Yeah, just a little. Holy moly.
Yeah, he is dominating the situation. And really, it's kind of interesting because...
Wow.
Your boy Finn is now the number 4 leader at rank 1 in Arena.
Yeah, with a whopping 124. Hera makes the cut now with 6. She now makes top 10 leaders.
Hera makes that cut. There's 11 Bastila Shans at rank 1. God bless you guys.
Yeah. Oh, man. Darth Maul. Those are the 15 people that are still hanging on to their Treyas. The 15 Darth Maul guys.
Yep. Well, there's Treya. Treya is now 983. So there's less than 1,000 people rocking Treya at rank 1. That's kind of interesting. 6,700 people are rocking Jedi Knight Revan at rank 1.
Wow. Holy cow.
Yeah.
No wonder I'm having such a hard time in Arena right now.
Oh, it's obnoxious. Oh, it's so boring.
Honestly, it is. I'm totally frustrated. It's like I give up because I don't have the time to sit there and wonder in the last few seconds whether I'm going to win or not. So,
oh my God, I'm so sick of it. I rarely play Arena this weekend at all, just because I didn't want to fool with it. It's like,
yeah.
I looked at the top 50 on my Arena, and it's literally, I think there's one Mother Talzin, and there's one Treya, and that's it. Everything else is Revan. That's it. No more CLS, nothing. CLS,
I've still got one Treya, one CLS that are in the top 10. But unfortunately, they're in my payout, so I can't hit them.
That CLS C-3PO Chewbacca wind, it blew, it came through town, and it's now gone.
Yeah. It still works really well on offense. Just don't leave it on the defense, or you're going to find yourself in the hundreds by overnight, practically, because everybody's going to want a piece of that.
So let's look at the top 10 squad members at rank 1, and pretty much indicative of the top 10 leaders at rank 1. Jedi Knight Revan, holds pretty much an equal piece of the pie to Grandmaster Yoda, Jolie Bindo, General Kenobi, and Bastila Shan. And then behind them are just a few small pieces of Grand Admiral Thrawn, Darth Nihilus, Darth Sion, Darth Treya, and then last there is Chewbacca, which is pretty much a must if you're running, let's say, a Finn team or a CLS team. Oh, not a Finn team, really. I guess there's people that are running Chewie with the Jedi, so that's probably why Chewbacca's on there. But that's pretty much it for the meta. It hasn't really shifted much since last week, and I don't see it shifting much anytime soon. We'll have to see what happens to Grievous. I mean, it would be awesome if they made Grievous meta-worthy and able to stand up to Revan teams, but I don't know if that's going to happen, and we'll have to wait and see. But for now, that's the top 10 squad members at rank 1. Let's move on to the top 10 squad members at rank 1 for Fleet. So, pretty much right on the tail of the Houndstooth is Han's Millennium Falcon. I'm really kind of shocked that so many people got the Han's Millennium Falcon, but 8,800 people rocking Han's Millennium Falcon at rank 1. The home one behind that, and then Biggs Darklighter behind that. So that seems to be the team: Houndstooth, Biggs Darklighter, and home 1. So, and let's see here. You got Biston's U-Wing, Ghost, the Chimera, Imperial TIE Fighter, the Executrix, and then the TIE Silencer to wrap it up there at the end. But I mean, the meta right now is, Biggs Darklighter, Houndstooth, home 1, and Han's Millennium Falcon. And that seems to be the best, squad. Now, again, there's definitely some variations out there and some different teams you can put out there, but this is what the majority of people are running here. So, we'll get into the reinforcements here in a moment. But, I mean, what are you running right now in Squad Arena? I mean, in Fleet Arena, Maurice?
Houndstooth, Millennium Falcon, and depending on who I'm playing, Biston or Biggs. Sometimes I take Houndstooth out and run Biggs, Biston, and Falcon. I can't. You almost have to put Houndstooth in on defense. You fall too far. You can definitely climb without it.
Yeah.
Houndstooth and Falcon, 1 and 2 here on the list. With home 1. My whole fleet chart pretty much switched to that immediately. Some people. I'll tell you what, the people that really invested in their Phoenix and have those really tricked out ghosts, those are the toughest teams for me. The ones with like 2-3 Zeta Ghost ships, those are tough. Because mine is too far behind. I can't compete with that. So I don't even use ghosts in my starting lineup. It's just too big of a bullseye, I guess, a target. But yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting seeing some of these ships that we've had forever just finally being utilized. So that's cool.
Well, the Phantom 1 is now the #1 reinforcement, and we'll get a chance to see that here. So, I'm sorry, the Phantom 2. Phantom 2, Cassian's U-Wing right behind it. The Ghost, Biggs Darklighter, the TIE Advanced, Lando's Millennium Falcon, Wedge Antilles X-Wing. I'm surprised to see Wedge on there like that. I mean, is that just because of the Millennium Falcon Home 1 teams? Because they want to keep a Rebel synergy going?
Yeah. He's killer when he's on the Home 1 team with the Rebels.
I'm surprised that
he's really good.
I'm surprised that he's ahead of Biston's U-Wing. I guess that's just because Biston isn't really had by many people.
Well, Biston, yeah, you really, to make that ship viable, you really have to invest in 2 very, very difficult gear characters. Like, you really need Pathfinder Gear 11 for that ship to really shine. So, yeah. And Wedge is good because he's got the buff block and the healing immunity off the bench there. So that's actually really helpful versus Houndstooth, particularly if you can land it on any of those other ships, though, prevent them from going stealth, which is helpful. So yeah, it will stop maybe Phantom from taunting, perhaps, shed some of the foresight, that sort of thing. It's got its uses. I wouldn't call it the best ship, but it's definitely a free-to-play ship that everybody has. And you're talking your final reinforcement, offense. You don't get to them very often, so.
Yeah, it makes a nice substitute if you're lacking one of the other top ships. Definitely.
Makes sense. All right, now we're going to do something that we typically, that we haven't done before, just kind of a one-time thing, and, maybe we'll revisit this again down the road, but not something that's going to shift too much, but just thought it'd be interesting to look at the top 3 most used Zetas on SWGOH.gg, the Zeta report. I thought about using the mod report, and I looked at it, and to be honest with you, it would be great, and one day if I have, maybe the time, I'll separate some of the top characters, and we'll take a look at that, but it's too big for us to get any kind of use out of it on the stream here or on the screen. We'd have to go literally list the best mods or the most used mods for every single character in the game. So it's a really cool tool, and for those of you thinking about what mods to put on a character, you should definitely go over to swgoh.gg, go to the mod report, look up the character, and you can take a look at the mod sets that are being used the most by people at rank 1 or in the top 100 or in the top 50. It's very specific. So this is based on 51 million Zetas. So basically, these are statistics based on 51 million Zetas in the game. 182,000 Zetas, giving Commander Luke Skywalker's It's Bind All Things the most used Zeta in the game. What do you guys think about that? Does that make sense? I think that makes sense.
Not surprising. Yeah.
He's a staple. He's a staple. He can take care of himself, and he definitely needs that to help him out. So definitely something you've got to have.
I think it's pretty interesting. So basically, he comprises 3.3% of all the Zetas in the game. It binds all things. This particular Zeta.
That's a pretty healthy amount.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is, yeah.
All right, so let's move on to our number 2 most Zeted ability in the game. And that's Han Solo's Shoot First. So 170,302 people have Zeted Shoots First. That's 3% of all the Zetas in the game.
That is definitely a Zeta that is absolutely necessary, especially for Han Solo, but especially on any team that you have him on or combined with anything else. He has got to have that.
It's pretty interesting. I mean, I think that... I mean, it's definitely a necessity. It makes him literally a worthless character into a usable character on any Rebel team. So
exactly.
Yeah, he was really. I mean, we were all theory crafting what cool things they could do to Han, and I think that we all said at some point it would be cool if Han could ignore pre-taunt and double attack. So I mean, they literally did that. You know, I feel like they did it, you know, based on, you know, fans' requests. But thank God, because otherwise, you know, we'd have a legendary character that's completely worthless. Because I mean, he really, outside of maybe being able to stun like Jawa Engineer during the droid meta, there really was no other use for Han Solo. The only thing he really brought to the table was shoots first, you know, because he was able to stun somebody to start the match. But once pre-taunt came out, he was pretty much a worthless character. So, our number 3 most zated ability in the game is Number Crunch by R2-D2 with 169,000, right behind Han. So, again, also comprising 3% of all the Zetas in SWGOH. So, pretty cool. Pretty cool. I mean, this makes sense. You know, really, you know, if you were to ask me what 3 Zetas I thought were the most Zeted in the game, these would probably be the ones that come to mind. I'd probably think that, you know, Traya would be close, but again, you know, not everybody has Traya. So,
right.
So yeah, that's one of those things. But you know, the majority of the player base do have CLS and Han and R2, and you know, those are some of the first characters, or first legendary characters you unlock. So this makes a ton of sense for sure. But anyway, it's just something I thought would be interesting to look at. You know, if those things change at some point, or you know, we get you know, somebody coming up from the woodworks, you know, I'll definitely make sure to do this again, and you know, we'll take another look. But let's move on to our top 5 for this week. This week we're doing top 5 ships to use with Emperor Palpatine's shuttle. So, figured it'd be pretty relevant to do this now. So we're going to dive right in here. Who do we have at number 5, Maurice?
Let's see. Let me pull the list up. I believe it is going to be Sith Fighter, right? I'm looking at the same thing here.
Yep.
Yeah, Sith Fighter is number 5. And this, I mentioned earlier, is a ship that came out. Nobody cared. Everyone thought it sucked. It did kind of suck. I didn't have a use, but now it's really coming into play as a decent sort. It says attacker, but it's almost more of a support. Just constantly putting down healing immunity, and this ability here, the Swarm Tactics. When a Sith ally deals damage to an enemy not at 100% health, they gain foresight and defense penetration for 2 turns. We mentioned earlier this is going to be a very slow team, the Sith team. Outside of TIE Fighter Pilot and TIE Advance, there's no ships in the top 10, 15 in terms of speed. So you're going to need that foresight to kind of give you a little bit of, you know, survivability. It'll come in real handy, and when you do evade, that bomber will start dropping the bombs everywhere. You know, we'll get to him in a minute. Spoiler alert, but very, very good ship. Synergizes well with Palpatine and the bomber. I think this is going to be a good little trio of ships here, these Sith. So,
do you feel that he would be better on the starting line or as an actual reinforcement? Where would you put him in reinforcement?
You talking about the Sith Fighter or the Palpatine? I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure. Mine, I've got the stars for 6. I haven't really put it to use and invested in it yet. But, you know, it comes in and gets foresight. When reinforced, in a Sith ally scores a crit hit, I guess it's going to give itself foresight too if it's reinforced, right?
I believe so. It's been a while since I've looked at its kit.
Yeah, it's got stacking max health. It's got 25% offense. Does very, very little for you unless you want to utilize it with the bomber, pretty much. But it is going to be a key piece for these Sith teams. So
it's a cool ship. I mean, again, it's behind a character that's really not widely had. I mean, again, I'm sure, you know, quite a few people have the Sith Assassin, but it's just again, one of those ships that, you know, really requires a character that you don't really use in any other area of the game. So it's definitely good to, you know, try to get these ships leveled up now, though. Again, especially if there's going to be some sort of a Sith event that's coming for ships. So, you know, if that's something that's really important to you, you know, it's something I would consider if you don't already have Sith Assassin and the Sith Fighter. But again, it also comes at in a ship node, which is, you know, there's so many things right now to farm out of ship nodes. I mean, you have Enfys Nest, you have the Palpatine ship right now, which is taking away your attention. You have the Lando's Millennium Falcon. You know, you've got Anakin's ETA Starfighter in there. So there's a lot of there's a lot of like important things to farm in the ship nodes right now, and the ship nodes aren't really quite as forgiving with the refresh costs. So it's 100, 100, 100, and then it's instantly 200, which starts to already right away get really expensive. So it's definitely a great ship. I think it works well with Palpatine, but again, you know, it's one of those ships that's harder to get, so that's why it's kind of lower on the list, I think. Let's move on to our number 4 ship that synergizes with Emperor Palpatine's shuttle. And we have here the TIE Reaper. So the TIE Reaper can work great as a starting ship or as a reinforcement. You know, if you're talking about top tier meta, I'm sure it's going to be more of a reinforcement ship. It has, you know, it's with 2 characters that are, you know, very usable in the game. Shore Trooper and Death Trooper are both very important characters in the game overall. So you're not missing out or, you know, making a poor investment by Zetaing or putting Gear 12 on both of those characters. The TIE Reaper has the ability to dispel, and, you know, obviously just in keeping with the synergy, you know, it's an Empire ship, so you know, it has you know, some synergies with Palpatine's ship. You know, what do you think are the benefits here of the TIE Reaper, Maurice?
Well, again, your Sith fleet is going to be slow, right? Especially if you're using Chimera. So that reinforcement ability where you come in, remove 10% turn meter, gain 10% turn meter, and inflict defense down can be helpful. It can maybe turn the tide in your favor. It's not very much turn meter, but if it gives your team a chance to go and attack enemies that are now inflicted with defense down, it really can kind of speed things up for you and help you stay ahead. So I like that. And of course, then the cooldown reduction of the opposing capital ship. So that's always very helpful, especially if you bring it off the bench. And there's a couple ships on the opposing side that are about to die. You can kind of neutralize their capital ship. It's a good strategy. It's a ship a lot of people have, as it used to be arguably the best ship in the game before Ships 2.0. So this is a ship a lot of people have. And you can kind of brush the dust off it and put it back to use here in a few months when these ships are, you know, realistic for people to have. So
Right.
That's our number 4 ship to use with Emperor's shuttle. Moving along to our number 3, who do we have here, Maurice?
Number 3 is going to be, let's have a look. I'm sorry, Gauntlet Starfighter. Gauntlet Starfighter, yet another Empire ship here. This ship is going to help you with sustain as it gets the protection up, and it'll also be able to cleanse your team, which can be pretty helpful, especially if you're facing another, you know, Palpatine team and you just got buff immunity everywhere. You can come in and cleanse it right away. This is going to be a support unit just for sustain. This is a ship a lot of people not a lot of people have fully developed, and it's probably not one that you need to rush right out and get. Just very long term, this is going to be a helpful ship for you. Just the dispelling and the protection up, and it's got buff immunity as well for, you know, an opposing Sith fleet, so you can shed all the foresight, or for Houndstooth to keep it from taunting. It's very useful, do it all kind of ship.
Yeah, it's really hard to gear up Gar Saxon and Commando, you know, when you've got so many other tunes out there to be able for that. But it is a very cool ship, especially when it's maxed out. I do have one maxed out on one account, and I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, no, it's kind of a good support ship to couple with another support ship. You know, it has the ability to, you know, to give protection. You know, it's got the ability to increase speed for itself. You know, and also it gains speed for each Empire ally. And additionally, it grants plus 25% defense to all allies, doubled for Empire allies. So, you know, for a ship, I mean, again, this is not going to be something that you're going to put in as your number 1, you know, starter. But as a reinforcement, you know, all allies recover 30% protection, and Empire allies gain 30% max protection. So it's a good reinforcement ship. It does decent damage, and because of the Empire synergy, it works well with you know, the Palpatine shuttle for sure. But that is our number 3 ship to use with Palpatine's shuttle. Let's move along to our number 2 ship, and that is the B-28 Extinction Class Bomber. So this is obviously with Sith Marauder. Why is this ship here, Maurice?
Well, this ship is pretty phenomenal. No one has it yet. Sith Marauder is the pilot, unfortunately. But it's very, very good. We mentioned Sith Fighter and the evasion mechanics. And if you max out the B-28's high-value target, his second little ability, whenever a Sith ally takes damage or evades an attack from an enemy, there's an 80% chance to place a mine on that enemy. And if you bring it out of the reinforcements, you're going to land 2 concussion mines immediately. So you could maybe lead with Houndstooth and then bring in the B-28 first off the bench. And you have 2 tanks possibly, and this one is going to be dropping bombs. And when you pull them out of the reinforcement and put them into your lineup, every time one of those bombs goes off, all Sith allies are going to recover 5% protection. So he's kind of a healer / tank. He's got like a passive taunt in his kit. It's a very, very good tank that we'll see it really. We'll see it start popping up. But there's so many other things to farm with your hard nose right now. It's really tough to recommend doing this ship for a team. It's a very long-term ship team. All these characters we're talking about tonight, this is very, very long-term. Not something you're probably going to be able to build tomorrow. So this is one to keep an eye on if you do have, I think it's light side energy. If you do have regular energy to spare, that's something to consider and get this ship rocking and rolling.
Yeah, it's definitely a really cool ship. You know, it inflicts daze once the mines explode on the enemies, so that can really help out with some of these ships that get called in for assist. So that's good against, you know, some of the meta teams right now, actually.
Oh yeah, that I didn't even mention that. That is, I mean, this ship is pretty. You know, this is the counter to the Falcon. This ship. It's just, if you have the Falcon, you don't really need to go out and get this ship. This is one way to really shut down the Rebels, especially for Grand Arena or TW. This would be a good team to shut down any sort of home one squads that you see pretty efficiently. Especially with the protection regen, all the evasion and stuff. You can get a good team growing. Maybe not lose. Maybe any ships if it's, you know, modded and Zeta and all decked out. So it's one I'm excited about.
Okay, well, I have enough mats to do the level 2 and 3 for the reinforcement. So do you think I should do that right now?
No, not if you don't have a maxed out bomber. I mean, you got Marauder. You got Marauder Gear 12 and Shiny.
Yep. Yep.
I don't know, maybe. it's your reinforcement materials.
The bomber is like at 78 out of 100 right now, so it'll be 7 stars at any time. But the Marauder himself is G12, so.
So in your case, I'd think about it for sure. It also
I'd see how well you do on Palpatine's ship. Like if you can get him rock and roll at 6-7 stars, then yeah, you probably want to start thinking about that.
I just had the reset, so I was able to take him to 5 stars. So I was able to put that extra ability on him for the reinforcement. So
it also taunts whenever the first Sith ally gets attacked, or the first Sith ally goes below 100% health. So it protects the team as well. So, you know, with the protection regen and all that other stuff, this ship is definitely one to couple with. You know, Palpatine's ship, and it seems to synergize really well with other Siths. So, you know, you're going to want to have, you know, probably Darth Maul's ship on this team. There's some different ways to kind of configure your squad. You know, all these ships, although they may work well with Palpatine's ship, they may not work all well with each other. So, I mean, you know, although you know, this ship is great. I mean, you may want to couple, if you have all the Sith, you know, together, you may want to, you know, couple this with some different other ships to put together. This isn't like a, you know, top 5 ships that are, this isn't the whole team for Palpatine that we're putting on here. We're just putting the best ships that synergize with him, and this is definitely, you know, one of the top ones. So let's move on to our number 1 ship that synergizes, or number 1 ship to use with Palpatine's shuttle, or the Emperor's shuttle. What's our number 1 ship here, Maurice?
TIE Advanced. Good old TIE Advanced.
Some people are going to be disappointed about this. They thought that the Houndstooth would be number 1. But again, this is not the best squad for Palpatine. Again, you know, the Houndstooth is great, but the Houndstooth doesn't have any specific synergy with Palpatine. The TIE Advanced does. So target lock mechanic, definitely, you know, working very well, you know, for the Palpatine team, and has the ability to dispel, you know, taunting, you know, enemies, and it does, you know, a heap of damage. And even if you don't use it as a starting ship, when called in as a reinforcement, the TIE Advanced inflicts 3 damage over time effects and offense down on all enemies for 2 turns, which can't be evaded. But it does a decent amount of damage. I believe since the rework for ships, since Ships 2.0, the TIE Advanced got an increase in damage, and it actually hits a lot harder now.
It does. It does. I love it.
What are your thoughts, Maurice?
Well, this is great. His target locks can't really be cleansed. So every time an Empire ally, you know, Palpatine, we mentioned the TIE Reaper, you know, TIE Fighter pilot, the you know, any Empire ship you use, when you attack a target locked enemy, you get 15% turn meter. Something else to kind of help you with that lack of speed this team has. Just a great high damage. He'll probably be the bulk of your offense for your team. So this is your attacking ship. It just pairs perfectly with him.
Yep. That's our number 1 ship to use with the Emperor's shuttle. We're going to move on to our honorable mention, and this is just, you know, our initial first thoughts here, and that's that the Chimera is going to be one of the better, if not the best, ship to use as a capital ship with Palpatine's ship. So there is no Sith command ship, there's no Sith capital ship, so this is the next best thing. Now that may change. Again, if Palpatine's ship is in fact sort of an omen for a ship, capital ship for Sith that's coming out, then at some point down the road, you know, that will obviously be a different story. But right now, if it was between the Executrix or the Chimera, I would say the Chimera, only because the Chimera does add some interesting benefits. You know, the ultimate ability for the Chimera, you know, is very beneficial. Also, the buffs, the ability to really to grant you know, bonuses to the Empire faction, you know, is why this is here. But why do you think the Chimera is so good, Maurice?
Well, I like the Chimera better. It is slower, but you do get the, you know, the nuke off, and you also have turn meter removal from his AOE, and then you've also got the health up move that grants, you know, all sorts of benefits and stuff as well. So it's a good ship for this fleet. But then, you know, the Executrix is going to be good too, because it will boost damage against all the debuffs. So either way, whichever one you have developed will be fine. I just hate advising anyone to invest in a Gear 12 Double Zeta Target. You know, that's just ugh. Blah. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Not at all. But
also, yes, the TIE Silencer. You know, the TIE Silencer is a great ship. Again, because of the fact that there's no other First Order capital ship, and you know, maybe that'll change as we get closer to Episode 9, and you know, we get some other some other first order characters, that might be a different story. But right now, these are the top 5 ships that synergize, Empire-wise and Sith-wise with the Emperor Shuttle. So we're going to now move along to some more gameplay. I'll do another battle with Emperor Palpatine here in a moment. And we'll run another ship battle here. But while we do that, guys, if you have any questions or you have any topics you'd like to discuss, now is the time. We will try to get everything in that we can before the end of the stream. This is typically that time where we do our Q&A. So if you guys have anything you want to talk about, any questions, I know we've already probably scooped up a few from the beginning of the chat here. What's going on, Maurice?
All right, let's see. We got first question. Josue Garcia, what will General Grievous, Droideka, and Magna Guard need to bring to beat Revan? I guess, what do these characters need so it will counter the Revan teams that we're seeing?
Well, a lot. Let me tell you that. Really, these kits have become so complicated that it's like, to think what would be needed, it'll be a lot. I mean, they had to do a lot of tweaking to Revan to make him able to take out Traya, so they didn't want to release, a top-tier character like Revan and not have him be able to, to counter the meta. So, they did a lot of testing and tweaking on the character to make sure that he was able to stand up to some of the, the top-tier characters. And I think that that in order for Grievous and them to work against the current meta, I mean, they'd have to have some mechanic that gives them turn meter boost.
But you got that with B2 already.
I mean, besides, yeah.
But that takes a Zeta. You're gonna need some anti-Jedi synergy, right? You'd think Grievous would have some sort of boosted X, boosted Y, does this for the team against Jedi, or even like Galactic Republic in general. Some anti-Galactic Republic elements in his kit. The Dispel of B2 is handy, but it can't go through Foresight, and there's no, if you can't land the buff immunity through Foresight, you're not going to be able to stop them from buffing. IPD Zeta will dispel everything and prevent them from getting buffs, but he's not a Separatist droid, right? So you might need some sort of buff immunity mechanic on one of those characters, likely IG-100. I don't know what they can do to him, because he's pretty god awful right now. But something, probably some other target lock mechanic, like IG-100 adds this, Grievous adds this, and then all of a sudden you got like 7 things. You get target lock on an enemy, you get 4 or 5 little bonuses, or prevent them from doing 4 or 5 things. So I'm very interested to see where they go with this. B2 looks good. B1 is interesting. Kind of see how it all plays out together.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens. I don't know, and I really don't think that the droids are going to be able to trump the Jedi meta, but we'll have to see.
I think offensively there's a chance. I don't think it's going to be a team you probably want to leave as your defense, but I think for those, either without Revan or looking for ways to counter Revan in TW and Grand Arena, it's got potential. Because I remember when they first came out with Revan, we were fooling around with droids, and the droids were kind of beating some of the initial Revan teams before people really knew how to use them. So the droids are almost there. Just a few other pieces will be nice.
It'll be nice to change the meta a little bit. Just have something different other than like humanoids. It'd be kind of nice to have something a little more on the mechanical side that can that we can play with. I really like it.
Reading some of these comments here. All right. All right, next question from Piano Jonathan. Yeah. If you want to go to replace GK in any universe, Kit looks cool on paper. Not checked out what people are saying about her. So, are you guys going to be using Juani in place of GK anywhere?
Well, that's an interesting question. A lot of us have been theory crafting that, but realistically, some of the people that have gotten a 7-star Juhani and Gear 12'd her and used her, I've had some negative things to say, to be honest with you, and I don't know how much of a replacement for GK she's going to be. Do I think that she has a place? I know that Adastra has 7-star Juhani, and she says that Juhani works better with the Old Republic characters. So she works better with characters like Canderous and
Karth.
And Karth. So I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But I kind of feel like she may be a great addition. Let's say for let's say a Bastila team in TW, a second Jedi team. If you want to kind of put something else together. But I don't know how well she's going to do. As a replacement directly for Kenobi in, let's say, a Revan team.
She's definitely not a plug and play.
I still think Kenobi is going to be the better option. That's just what I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with you. Kenobi's probably going to be better in, darn near every situation, especially with Jedi. She's very good, but she is. You take her off that Old Republic team, and you got to come up with some sort of cleanse. That's something to remember, because none of those characters have any sort of cleansing mechanics at all. So you'd almost have to use like an Ewok Elder or a Rex maybe as like your 5th on your Old Republic. The turret wouldn't be a terrible option there, actually. So interesting kit. I don't personally have her. I'd really like to do some testing to see how much damage she could actually generate with those boosts and stuff. So I haven't got a chance to really fool around with her yet, but I'm looking forward to her. One day. She should be farmable sometime soon, you think. Hopefully this week. I'm actually kind of surprised they didn't bring her in with this little update they did the other day. So
yeah, me too, to be honest with you. But we'll see.
Here's a question I missed here. Piano Jonathan, if Biston starts in the starting lineup, Ghost is still used only as reinforcement? Yeah, so if you use Biston in your starting lineup, you do want to put Ghost in your reinforcement, because the Ghost will have, you can bring the Ghost in and do his assist mechanic, and it would actually give Biston stealth again. So when it's Biston's turn, he could give himself offense up by stealthing again. So it's a good reinforcement for the AoE that it calls, and all those characters are going to get protection up from Akbar's lead, or the capital ship. So it's a good, definitely want to use it. Okay, that was not directed towards us. All right, can you guys break down the mod slicing and farming strategy and how you balance it out?
Okay.
From Stonewall.
Well, as far as mod slicing is concerned, obviously, you're trying to go. When it comes to let's go into mods, some mods here, and we'll take a look, and we'll just kind of go over my thoughts on it. So, for example, who's a character that needs some mods sliced? Let's take a look at C-3PO here.
Well, it depends on what if you're just looking for overall mods, just like for mods that are useful all the time, then you want to look for mods that have secondary of like speed and flat offense, speed and whatever you're trying to build. It's usually going to include speed. So you just want to go through and find your best mods. Start at the white mods and the green mod. Like the white mods, find all the ones that have 3 to 5 secondary speed, and maybe like offense. And you take those up to green. If they don't ding the good stats, then you've just got yourself a brand new green mod. But if you waste a lot of, it seems like you're going to waste a lot of resources at the beginning take them up from white to green, green to blue, so on and so forth. It seems like a big waste. But then when you get all these gold mods, like the cream of the crop, I mean, your 6E mods are going to be much, much better than those that are just leveling up, you know, just kind of keep up with the Joneses and trying to get gold mods because they think they need them. You really want to make sure that you're investing in good mods to take to 6E, because these are going to be the mods that you have forever in the game. 6E, 6D, 6, however they decide to progress the mods, you'll be a step ahead. So really, really taking the time to find the perfect ones. Like Ramon here just got one with 9.6 defense. That's pretty good. You know, there are certain secondary stats: defense percentage, offense percentage, tenacity, flat defense, health percent. Those secondaries get a big boost when you take them to 6E. So that's something to consider as well.
I mean, obviously speed is a huge thing, but I mean, you know, the speed roll is going to be tough, and sometimes you're not going to get it. You know, I got lucky right there. I got 2 speed rolls, and then when you bring it to 6 dots, you get 1 speed increase there. Also, you increase the protection amount, you know, and, you know, we got, you know, an increase to defense like Maurice pointed out. So, you know, overall, I got lucky with this particular mod, but it started out as a 5 speed, and now we're at 16. But how often are you going to get a double roll on speed like that? Probably not all the time. So you want to start off with a mod that has a good speed starting number. So I mean, you want to have like a 5 speeds to start. And you know, actually, the lower tier that it is, the better chance you have of getting the mod to be high. So I mean, like, you know, let's say you got already a, you know, a gold mod and it's still 5 speed. You're probably not going to want to invest in that mod anymore because, you know, it's only going to go to, you know, maybe 6 or 7 speed. If you have a green mod that starts at 5 speed, that's something you want to slice. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, but what were you saying, Maurice?
Oh, I'm not sure. I forgot now. I was trying to, I don't know, trying to generalize it, but it wasn't going too hot, so... I'm just trying to.
Yeah, I mean, certain mods are guarantees, like, you know, the speed arrow or the speed set. I mean, obviously, being able to increase your overall speed is great. You know, you know, if you bring a 30 speed arrow up to 6 dots, you're going to get an increase in speed, and you could get an increase in some nice other stats. Like this particular mod here happens to have, you know, 30 speed. It also has 33 offense. Let's bring it up to the next tier and see if we get an offense increase here. And we do. So now it gets a boost to 65 offense. We'll try again. We got an increase in defense there. Not the greatest, but let's try again here. Okay, so we got an increase in tenacity. So now if I bring this mod up here, it's going to be 30... What is it? 31 speed?
32. You get 2.
Yeah, so 32 speed. We got an increased offense too, so 71 offense. Again, that's not really necessary with C-3PO, and because of the offense statistics, I mean, that's also not a huge offense number. I mean, there's some offense secondaries that are like 180 or something like that, so you can get some pretty sick numbers there. But I like that 1% tenacity. That's almost like having a tenacity set on top of having that mod. So that's pretty cool. But what's the next question?
All right. That is all the ones I had, I believe. Oh, here we go. Question from Josue Garcia. Are y'all buying into the smoke and mirrors theory that droid rework is just to distract us and resource drain us before a surprise release for Darth Revan or Darth Malak? Do you guys think the droids is a resource drain?
For me, they're not a resource drain. I mean, I've been waiting for, you know, rework to droids for a long time. I kind of wish that they'd give some love to IG-86, some of the other droids as well, but you know, listen, if it has to come in the form of Separatists first, and we get, you know, a rework to Grievous that actually makes him a respectable character in this game, I'll take it. And, you know, listen, I have Grievous at Gear 11, you know, from the past when I used to use him, and I'm going to have him at tier 12 here in a few days, and whenever that rework comes out, I'm going to just cross my fingers and hope to Christ that he's got some synergies with the droids too, and then I can dust off some of my old droids, and maybe my Jawa engineer, or something. I don't know what I'll do, but I mean I'll dust off some of these older characters and see if I can get some use out of a droid team, maybe in Grand Arena for the time being, and then possibly Arena if General Grievous's rework is really that good. But do I think it's a resource drain? No, I mean, as much as any other release is or rework is, but I think that being that I'm not going to be pumping a whole ton of resources into the droids, because I know that there's something coming. And that's just my feeling. I mean, I know that there's something coming at some point, whether it's now, next month, or the month after. Every year around this time, they release, some sort of KOTOR Sith character, and I don't expect them to not do that. Again, these characters are selling for them, okay? They're selling, Revan like hotcakes. They were selling Scion like hotcakes. They were selling Nihilus like hotcakes. There's no reason for them to stop that tradition if people are going to buy. And they do want to make money. So I think that ultimately, whatever's selling, whatever works, they're going to continue to do that. And I don't foresee them skipping that, springtime or, February, March, April release of some sort of a Sith character. So do I think it'll be Malik? Personally, yes. I think it'll be Malik before Revan, because I don't think they're going to release Revan so fast. I think they're going to hold that carrot for a future day. I think one day we will get Darth, a dark side version of Revan. But I don't know if it'll be... I don't know if it'll be so soon. I think that we'll get Darth Revan probably next year, if anything. We're still waiting on, on Luke. Okay, we don't have Return of the Jedi Luke. That's coming at some point. I mean, we know that. We've got, a new movie coming out at the end of this year. This is a saga film year, so there's going to be a lot of ramp up to that. There's a new show coming out later on this year called The Mandalorian. We're going to get some characters from that. There's a lot of stuff happening. So Star Wars wise, we're going to have the Clone Wars come back. We're going to have, we got this show Resistance. I'm sure they're going to release some characters from Resistance. I mean, it's a great opportunity for them to add some more ships to the game, because that whole show is about ships. So, we'll see. But I kind of think that it's going to be Malik. That's my opinion.
Well, anything that's released in this game now, it's probably accurate to call all of it a resource drain. Anything that comes out, right? So anything that comes is going to be before something else. So I definitely think something's coming. I don't know if it's going to be what we think it is, but I do think these droids are kind of going to get us distracted, and it's going to be a big whammy. Whether it be like a Sith ship now that we have this Palpatine, whether it be Darth Malik, Darth Revan, maybe it's the Ebon Hawk, something, who knows what they'll do, but it could be something completely out of left field too. So
we had a question here for tanks: defense, health, or tenacity? Defense, health, or tenacity?
But it depends.
GK and Old Ben specifically.
All three.
Yeah. Especially if you're using them under Bastila, you definitely want to maximize their health, because that will give them bigger the purple protection up bar at the start of the match. So you do want to go real heavy on health. Tenacity, not so much. You don't really need tenacity at all on a Bastila team, but definitely all three, like you said.
Yeah, McFly is also asking about Kira, Raidhan, Chewie, Vandor, and L3. Maybe I missed something earlier.
No, I think he's just spamming team requests for you to use.
He's asking me. Okay. Yeah, no, I was wondering if he's asking about that team. Yeah, we're gonna probably wrap up the show here in a moment, but as far as that goes, I think that's a pretty interesting team. I'll if you want on the next stream, if you're by McFly, I'll definitely run that team for you in a couple Galactic War matches, or my Kira and Vandor are not anything to really talk about, so I'll have to work on those characters a little bit more. I did get Zeta on mission, and I got Mission and Zalbar to Gear 12, so they're ready to go. So question, once Darth Revan and Jedi Luke are released, what can CG do to keep interest for the game? No character from the new trilogy will excite us as much as those two. I think that, yeah, like Avi said, Luke will be kind of a carrot at the end. I think that Luke's going to go through the hero's journey like he has. So we'll get, we got CLS. Next, we're going to get Return of the Jedi Luke. Then we'll get Old Man Luke from the new series, and I think that he'll be cool too. But there are other characters. I mean, listen, there's a ton of other, Old Republic characters that I want to see. There's still, some, as we discussed earlier, some expanded universe characters that they could bring in. They could bring in, Evolov. That'd be pretty cool. Not that I think that they'll ever do that. I mean, that'd be too awesome. They could bring in, somebody from the Usan Vong. I'm really getting a deep cut here, but that'd be awesome. We'll see. Which mod set are you running on Jolie, Maurice, from Warcall?
3 health sets: health, primary, triangle, cross, and circle. I am trying to get an arrow on it too. I just don't really have too many. My selection of health arrows with speed secondaries is very, 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 very limited. That's not really something I have in my inventory, so I'm looking for those. But health arrow, if you get a health arrow with 15 plus speed, it's really, really good for Jolie. 6E, of course. Anything health. Kind of going back to the mod question, health primaries are very, very important. You might want to prioritize those just for all parts of the game. Health is very, very good. So yeah, health.
We're definitely getting Luke's X-Wing at some point. We're definitely getting, the Ebon Hawk at some point. We're definitely getting some of these other ships that they haven't put into the game yet. I mean, I didn't think that they were going to release Anakin's ship like they did. Anakin's ship I thought was going to be a big deal. They kind of released it as like a marquee. I thought that was going to be a special ship, to be honest with you. But eventually we'll get Luke's X-Wing. We'll get some other ships that we've been waiting on. I think that we'll see Yoda's Jedi Starfighter at some point. He's got one from the Clone Wars show. We'll see some other ships. I think Dooku will have a ship. I think Grievous or Dooku will have the Malevolence. And, there'll be some other things. We'll have to see. Hey, Life Ride, welcome from Russia. How's it going? Thank you. I appreciate it. But we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here, guys. It's getting to about 2:30, and we've been going for about 90 minutes now. I do want the rewatch value of the stream to stay up. I want these people that wake up tomorrow and watch the stream to not be too intimidated by how long we streamed tonight. So we'll go ahead and wrap it up here. But we will be back next week, and I will again be taking requests and questions, and we'll dive into a little bit more about the B1 when we get some more information about it, some more testing on it, and we get to see how people think about it, or what people think about it. And in the meantime, definitely make sure to check out the Galaxy's Edge live stream on the Operation Metaverse channel, hosted and co-hosted by good old Maurice and TMoney. So check that out on Tuesday night at 9:30 Eastern Time. And also check out the Jedi Academy next week, and also check out the live stream that the Ranger Infinity have on the Reality Skewed Gamers channel on Wednesday nights as well. I think do they do that at 8 or 9 o'clock?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, right? So 8 o'clock on Reality Skewed Gamers on Wednesday. Tuesday, check out Maurice and TMoney at 9:30 on the Operation Metaverse channel. Then also come back to RSG on Saturday for the Jedi Academy live stream at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And then we'll be back here again on Sunday night next week. But I appreciate everybody hanging out with us. It was a great show. Had a lot of fun. But as always, we'll see you guys on the next one. And may the Force be with you. Good night, everybody.